Are you somebody who's been trying to lose weight for years and you're ready for a different way? Now, maybe you've heard of the law of attraction and maybe you've tried affirmations. In fact, maybe affirmations haven't worked for you. So by the end of this video, I'm going to show you that affirmations are amazing, but you need to do them the right way. And I'm going to show you the right technique to make sure they work for you. Hi, I'm Jenny Del Reeve, and for the best law of attraction and weight loss advice out there, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every single Thursday. So my clients typically come to me when they're right at the end of the road in their weight loss journey. They've tried countless diets, various forms of different exercise, and they really are looking for a brand new approach that will work for a lifetime, but also one that will give them some freedom within eating and also within exercising. They no longer want to be a complete slave to exercise and dieting. So I've helped hundreds of men and women just like you lose weight via the law of attraction. And now it's your turn. So 15 years at the beginning of my law of attraction and holistic health journey, I'd heard about affirmations. I wanted to lose weight, I didn't like my body, so I decided to give them a go. Now, looking back, it's quite crazy because I used to stand in front of the mirror in my underwear, not liking what I saw at all, and chant to myself that I was slim and I was beautiful. And what do you think happened? Well, my mind just said, no, you're fat and ugly. And I was extremely insecure at the time, so the more I tried to chant the positive, the more my mind went absolutely crazy, bringing up the negative again and again and again. And it left me feeling absolutely terrible. And I concluded at the time that affirmations just didn't work. So take a look at the screen right now, and this is an emotional scale adapted with thanks from Esther Hicks. And it shows 22 emotions, ranging from the most negative all the way up to the most positive. And pin back your ears right now, because this is the most important information probably you will ever actually hear. And that is that our emotion dominates, not our words. Okay, so I was in insecurity over there on that scale, yet I was saying words that were actually a match to joy. So the words did not match what I was feeling, and it was the feeling and the vibration that I was giving out to the universe. So there was no way I was going to change my body or become slim and beautiful with that dominant vibration going on. So words don't really matter if you've got a negative vibration going on. Now, if you're in a really positive place and you have positive words, well, boom, the whole thing's moving together. But all we tend to do when we use really positive words and we're not feeling that way on this emotional scale is we tend to pull ourselves lower and lower down that scale. The affirmation doesn't work and we end up feeling terrible. Does that make sense? So guys, I really do read the comments sections. I'd love to get to know you better. So please have a go at putting an affirmation that you believe right now in this moment in that comment section. Go on, have a go. Even if you write something such as, I'm completely confused, but I'm hoping that over time I'll be able to like how I look much more. That's realistic for somebody who is in potentially doubt or worry, for example. Okay, if you're in powerlessness right now about your weight, right, I have no clue what to do right now. That's way better than trying to go to the top of the scale and saying, I love and appreciate myself. Because when we accept where we are on the scale, we immediately drop resistance, which means we can bring in solutions. So have a go and stick it in that comment section and I'll let you know what I think. So remember that a true affirmation is a statement that you absolutely believe and that feels good when you say it. And I think a misconception is that all affirmations are really positive. You know, they're all at joy on the scale. But if a person is in worry, for example, then just going a little bit higher up the scale and making a statement that feels better or like relief is an affirmation. So the final point is that we can't jump from the very bottom of the scale all the way right to the top of the scale. That's just unrealistic. So just aim for either the next emotion higher than that, for example, rather than going right to the top. So hopefulness and optimism, they're great emotions because they naturally actually have a tiny little bit of doubt in them. Okay, so for example, you could say, I'm really hopeful that using the law of attraction and this new diet plan that I've found, that I can find a way to make the two work together. Far better to say that than I'm firing on all cylinders, I know I'm going to do it, I've got this. All great languaging, perfect, it looks great on paper, but if you don't believe it, it will not work. Okay, so this takes a little bit of practice, guys. You've got to feel into it and check that you believe it. So are you getting the hang of this now? Basically, never say something you don't believe or it's not an affirmation. Okay, so make sure your words match your emotion on the emotional scale. Now, how do you know if you believe something? It's really, really, really simple. By the way you feel. Now, the way you feel is actually your emotional guidance system, and it's the most important thing in the world. You don't need to worry about anything else when you understand how your guidance system works. So say the affirmation out loud. Go for the top of the scale. I'm slim, gorgeous, and beautiful. Oh God, that makes me feel terrible. Okay, so we don't believe that in that moment, okay? It's pulling us down the scale. Try something a little bit lower. I'm hopeful that I can lose weight in a different way this time. That feels pretty good, but still not quite there. Try another one. I'm actually really worried that I will never, ever, ever lose weight, but a tiny bit of me thinks maybe I found the way here. Now, I really didn't want all of this information to be limited to my one-on-one clients. I wanted to really get this information out there because I know tons of you want to lose weight and you feel completely and utterly stuck. So I have created a really easy to follow ebook. It's only $17. I wanted to make it so that almost everyone on the planet could afford it. And in there are all the processes and all the information that I used in my own life to lose weight and for my one-on-one clients. So if you want to grab that, you can follow along whilst you're listening to this weight loss series. So I really enjoyed hanging out with you today and I hope you liked this video. Please check out my next videos in my Law of Attraction and Weight Loss series. And if you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe and share it with your friends. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you next time.